Good morning. I'm here to discuss my review of the financial planning webinar that I saw last week. My name is Jeffrey Vanco. I'm a second year business administration finance student at St. Clair College. And here is my review. Did the speaker get my attention with a strong message? Yes, absolutely. In particular, I will describe four areas of interest to me. The first being the idea of how to make good money decisions. I like the concept of opportunity cost, basically meaning what will this purchase that I make today, what will it cost me in the future, in terms of having capital to invest, etc. I thought that was very intelligent. I also like the idea of hard to think, easy to spend, meaning that it's very hard to think about financial decisions and it's super easy to spend the money. I really enjoyed that. I also like the idea that goals have an impact on the decisions that you make, and I think it's important to make a plan with short, medium, and long-term goals. She had a really good budgeting app in the video. It was called Mint, M-I-N-T, and it showed numerically the concept of it all adds up. So it was giving a student, as an example, with living expenses, rent, gas, etc., how your expenses can accumulate at the end of the month. So that was really neat to see. And I also liked the idea of compound interest. So showing how investing money, how it can grow exponentially over time. I thought those were four really cool points in that presentation. Two topics that were discussed that I feel will benefit our customers. Okay, they include budgeting and spending and saving. So I'll start with budgeting and spending. I really enjoyed her concept of being realistic when it comes to budgeting. She had a really good piece of advice, which was just begin with decreasing expenses by 25%. So this will have a very sound and realistic effect on actually budgeting. I mean, if you try to decrease expenses by 90%, you're probably not going to adhere to the plan, and you'll just go back to old behaviors and you'll be broke. The second being savings, in particular the concept of having an emergency fund or a rainy day fund. If you're an investor or if you have other things that you precious metals or coins or whatever, you don't have to liquidate anything if you have an emergency fund. So it'll protect your investments, and number two, it'll keep a roof over your head. I mean, we all have unexpected emergencies. That's life, and an emergency fund can save your butt. So I really like that. They both stress the importance of having a plan to achieve financial goals. So I've always said a ship without a course is just a barge. You have to have a plan. Plan your work your plan. So we move on to the concept of a SMART goal, which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So basically these are goals that are highly specific, strategic, and well planned. That's going to ensure that they will be achieved. I mean, it just makes sense. I feel the overall value of this presentation can be best described as you can be in control of your finances, and the best way to achieve that is with adherence to a sound plan. So I like how the speaker used concrete examples to show they were a product and service expert. For example, she was showing the difference between living at home and living off campus as a student. I mean, rent and room and board, your expenses can triple. I thought that was that was very realistic. I know that from my own personal experience, that is absolutely true. Overall, I did enjoy the presentation. I thought it was well thought out. It was professional. The speaker was clear and concise. I do have one critique about it though. I felt something was missing. I missed basically a human connection with seeing a human face connected to the voice that I was hearing through the presentation. So I kind of felt like I was talked at rather than talked to. Just my opinion, but that's kind of the feel that I got from it. So something else I would like to see a typical expense allocation with a visual, like a pie chart, so showing typical expenses for a student and how those expenses would be allocated with a nice visual graph. And I would also like to see the topic of certain investment choices added, perhaps with some typical returns too. Like for example, if I invested in the S&P 500 index, or I bought physical gold or whatever. Most young people, students, have no idea what investments are, let alone what the options are. So I think that would be beneficial. In particular, I wrote something down here. I would like to see the difference between two people over, say, a period of 30 years. So somebody who invests their money versus somebody who doesn't invest their money. Same earnings, same income, but how it differs over the period of 3 decades. I think that would be very beneficial to illustrate the power of financial management and investing in general. So I do feel the message was great, the content was good, and the delivery was okay. I would definitely recommend this, particularly if it's free. But I think for young people, she did a really good job. So I'd recommend it. Okay, thank you.